Okay, the last time we spoke, or last video we made, we were holed up in our little cabin here, all nice and safe. But we still had some things to do, and unfortunately, I went and I made a couple of videos, and I went to look at them, and all of a sudden I realized that the recording wasn't mixing well, so I'm rather embarrassed to say that I made two whole videos with no sound, so I'm just going to have to recap in this one what we did. So I'll open up my inventory and I'll show you. You can see that I now have an iron helmet and iron boots, and I have a little bit more gold. And I also have made a bucket so that we can work with lava more carefully and also with our crops. So I wanted to show you very quickly what we did in the day before, but I'm going to get out of my person view here. We're going to need something because I notice that every single time we come up here, we're looking at the door and gee, what time is it is, and you know, in the short render distance you can't really tell where the sun is, so that can be a real problem. So one of the things that we can do that I didn't do in the episode when nobody was with me is we're going to make a clock. Now a clock is made pretty much the same way we made our compass, only instead of with iron you use gold, just like that, and you have a clock, which is just really awesome. So you can keep your clock in your hotbar when you're down mining, and you're always able to see it. Now you see there's a bar. Now in this texture pack the clock's going to look a little bit different, but basically the bar is the horizons, the gold bar. The white bar that you see turning, once it hits the top, the little knob at the top of the clock, that means that is the beginning of what is following. So you can see that when you look at the clock right now, it's almost to nighttime. So we should be able to verify that by going out and just taking a look. So as soon as that bar hits the straight up and down and you see the nighttime is coming, you should see the light really start to get dark out there, and I can see that that's happening. So that's how you read a clock. And that clock will be really handy when we're down working in the mine or we're down in a cave and we don't know what time it is. Now the other thing that we did is I took our hoe and some seeds, and we went and, well, I went and I planted some wheat, and I showed you how to gather a bucket of water. So I'm going to have to re-show you how to do that. But what I really want to do right now, after I grab a little bit more food here, is, and you can see our food supply, we started out with 7 steaks or 10 steaks, and we're down to 4. I'm going to leave one piece here just in case. I'm going to take 3 of those with me. Get rid of those strings. You can see I've been down there by our spider spawner, and I've been whacking a few spiders and gathering a few strings, so those will be really handy for later. But for right now, I really want to show you something that I found that's really neat. And as long as I've been doing this game, almost a year, I've never seen this. I've never really had a huge interest in getting to the part of the game called the end, and so I've never seen one of these guys before, but I'll explain once we get down there. Oh, grumpy neighbor again. Guy's always grumpy. Okay, so I don't do it very well. But you can see that I actually made this little area here where you can come and see the spiders and whack a few if you need to. Stick a torch in there. And you can see that they're not just all going crazy right now because I haven't been down here. And they'll only spawn when you're within a certain amount, a certain distance of the spawner. So now they're going to just get all excited and start spawning like crazy. But when I came down here, you remember down on this level, this is level 12, and again you press the F3 and you can see in what your Y, there's X, Y, and Z in the lower paragraph. We're on level 12. After mining this area out here and realizing that there was a cave right above me, that wasn't going to work, I started over on the other side and I found this wonderful pool of lava. So I'm going to hang on to that pool of lava. You don't want to get too close to it because you'll definitely burn up. But as I was expanding this area here around the lava, I found some, you can see there's cobble here where I've had to backfill, where I've taken some things. There was some coal and some iron and some gold. But what was really interesting is as I was mining along, I started hitting a couple of these blocks up here and I thought, wow, they're taking a long time to break. And what it turns out is that, well, I will show you. And I had never seen one of these before because I think this one is one too. It takes a long time to break. And then, oh gosh, you have a silverfish. And you want to kill those really fast. Because what they do is they will go over to one of their buddies in one of these other blocks that might have a silverfish in it. And I can still hear them. They're mad. They're around here somewhere. But they'll call their buddy to come out of these blocks. You hear them? They're in these blocks around here somewhere. And one will turn into 2, which will turn into 4, which will turn into 8, and they'll multiply really fast. So you definitely, if that ever happens to you, and I've been doing this a year and I've never run into the silverfish before. Now I'll tell you what that means, and this was really exciting, is that I think this means that there may actually be a fortress which is part of the end game in this game. Very near, which is very unusual because normally when a fortress generates, it generates a long ways away from spawn. This one is practically right underneath it. So if we come to that point and we want to play that part of the game, this is probably where that fortress is going to be, is somewhere around here. All we got to do is find it and, you know, be adequately protected from the silverfish. So I wanted to show you that. Also, you don't want to just go around putting out all the lava if you don't have to, because if you go caving, you end up with a very large amount of iron ores or whatever you want to smelt. Rather than using coal, you can use a bucket of lava and it'll smelt a huge amount of ores so that you don't have to use up all your coal. You can save that for cooking and for torches. So I'm going to go ahead and head back up. I just really wanted to show you guys that because that's just very unusual. And then the other thing we did, or I did, is I took my my seeds and my hoe and I went out and I started a little renewable source of food, a little wheat garden. It takes 3 wheats to make a loaf of bread, and 1 loaf of bread will replace as many hunger bars as a piece of cooked meat. So it'll replace 3 full hunger bars, which is really good. So it's still nighttime out there. You can look down at our little clock and you can see that it's still nighttime. I'll have to break this up since we're at about 8 minutes or so. I'm going to have to break this up into another video in order to re-explain how to start a garden. But in the meantime, I'll go ahead and maybe do a little bit more mining. And yeah, if anything happens that's interesting, I'll cut into a video. But other than that, I'll see you in the next video.